Of course, when we're switching not just camera sources but graphics, we need to be able to establish a key and fill relationship between our sources so that we are able to properly overlay that graphic onto our outputs. And so to do that, we're going to establish that relationship in an FX input or an effects input. So as I mentioned in Kairos, we're going to build that relationship in an FX input. And so to do that, we're going to start in our FX inputs tab. Now that we're in here, the first thing I like to do is start with a new directory. Build a new directory, I simply right click, new directory, and I'm going to call this my CGs directory. And within this new directory, I'm going to create a new source, so a new FX input, and I'm going to first select my fill signal. And my fill signal for this example is coming in on my Aja 7. So I select Aja 7 as my main signal here, and I'm also going to rename this FX input. And so to do that, I'm going to right click and rename, and I'm going to rename this CG1. So now I've created this new FX input with the source of Aja 7. To establish my key signal being a part of this FX input as a relationship, I need to jump to the right side of my screen in my parameter view here and look for luminance key. Now it is a default parameter I can add, so I simply just need to open up this parameter and now select where my source key is coming from. And for this example, the source key that I'm looking for is going to be coming from Aja 5. So I select Aja 5 here, and now I'm not done. I've selected the right source, so I've created that key and fill relationship, but now I need to make sure that I enable this parameter. And so now that I've enabled this parameter, I've established the key signal for this FX input, and I've also established the fill signal. So now if I want to do an overlay of this graphic that has a key and a fill signal, I'm going to use my CG1 input. So now that I've established that relationship, I can go in and add that graphic that's coming down my input to a scene and overlay it here. So if I just want to work in the 16:9 scene that we have on our multi-view, I can go ahead and change my source here very quickly, and I'm going to again select that FX input source. So I put it in my CGs folder here, CG1, click OK. Now that I bring that source in, we can see that a key and fill signal is being generated, and I have a clean key over the top of my 2-box. So again, when we're creating that relationship between a key and fill, we want to be using an FX input, and when you do that pairing once, now you have that input available to you keyed and clean to overlay on any video.